Can't hit the light. Bam! Oh, what up? It's Revolutionize the Coaches TV. I'm trying to figure out how to do that perfectly. Anyway, we just had a dope Q&A discussion. We talked about secular music in the church. We even had a moment where people dropped some songs that they heard God in that was secular. You know what I'm saying? So we did all that. You know what I'm saying? And we had a dope discussion about like how God can still use people who are unworthy, about how God actually uses new bait with every generation, right? Y'all do believe that, right? God is innovative, right? He still be moving. He be doing new stuff, right? So y'all got to come listen to this Q&A where we talked about what music does, what music is, how music feels, and if God is really filling your playlist. Do you know? I don't know if you know. Let's see if you find out in this video. Stop playing and hit the subscribe button and enjoy. 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath. All right, let's take another deep breath on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. The reason why we take a deep breath is because it brings the proper oxygen into your body. It helps your mind relax, regulates your blood flow. Plus, maybe you guys have had a hard week. I know it's only Tuesday. You can have a hard week up until Tuesday. That's possible. So I don't know if you guys have had a hard week, but I wanted to make sure that I breathe with you guys, kind of calm you down. You know what I'm saying? It's only Tuesday, right? So let's kind of revamp already. Let's revamp early, right? So let's take another deep breath on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's be silent just for a second. Father, thank you so much for waking us up this morning. You gave us the energy that we needed for the day. You gave us the breath that we needed for the day. Gave us the time that we need for the day. Father, I'm just asking that within that breath, within that energy, within that time, that we be guided by your footsteps, by your influence, and by your ways. And that we don't waste any of that time. We don't waste any of that breath, and we don't waste any of that energy on things that won't last, on things that are futile, things that bring confusion or destruction or dissension amongst family and amongst people's lives, bring deception. We want to focus our time, energy, and breath on things that build the kingdom, things that are pleasing to you, things that are beautiful, things that are lovely. And we ask that in the midst of this conversation, that you be glorified, that the truth comes out, and that people are empowered to go live the life that you have set before them. I ask all this in the powerful name of Jesus. Amen. You said I should have got it out. Hey, it's too late now. It's whatever. It's too late. It's whatever. Okay. All right. So, if you guys can see, then that my group is, did I send it to you? Okay, I already did. And my group is my topic for today is a Q&A on Christian versus secular music. So first, like I said, I'm gonna assume, right, that everybody in here is a believer. I got 2 people online with me right now, right? Alec and Albany. Is Alec like a stage name? Like where that come from? I'm not sure. I'm just wondering. I'm just curious. It's pretty dope. I just want to know. Like I tried to like picture in my mind Alec, but I don't know where it come from. If does it really mean Alec? Does it mean that? I don't know. So yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna assume that everybody's a believer in here, right? But does everybody you said, oh, you made it up. Okay, your real name was Parker. Okay, cool. I'll call you Alec though. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it. Okay, so does everybody listen to secular music? Huh? Does everybody do it? Does anybody do it? Am I the only person? So tell me if you do. Deshaun, we in the building. Anytime you want to hop in, bro, just hop in. And that goes for everybody else. Anytime you want to hop in, y'all just hop in. Let me know what's up. You say yeah, you do listen to secular music. Okay, cool. What up? Good morning. Like I said, Deshaun, anytime you want to hop in, let me know. Okay, cool. So you say yeah, you do. Albany, you say you do. Okay, all right. I'm not alone. I'm not the only heathen on the phone. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew I wasn't, but you know, I didn't know if everybody else would admit it. Okay, I'm not by myself. All right. So tell me, do you feel bad about that at all? Like, does it feel weird? And when church was going on, like when churches were open, right? Some are still open. When you were going to church regularly, was that something like you hid, or was that something that you let people know? Like I listen to secular music, right? Like for example, like I listen to gospel music probably every day, on different days, but on Sunday I listen to on my way to church, right? On Sunday in the morning or on my way to church, I don't listen to nothing but gospel music. You know what I'm saying? I listen to nothing, or we can call it gospel. Do we call it gospel? Christian music, inspirational music. Like I don't listen to nothing but that on my way. And I actually got some songs on my list that might not sound very Christian to you. You know what I'm saying? But they be talking about God, so I got the songs on my list. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I do have it on my list, and on Sunday I only listen to that. But it's not because I don't listen to the other stuff. Most of the time, it's because I got it when I was pulling up to church the last few years before the pandemic was over. I was constantly teaching every Sunday, right? So it was like a mental space that I had to be in. I had to have my head right every Sunday morning. So I will only listen to gospel on my way to work because I'm constantly praying and stuff like that, right? But after church, am I alone? It sounds weird, right? I'm not by myself. After church, I run that playlist. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever I got on Apple Music after church, run that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping off that. You can play that. You can play anything that I got on my list. We listening to it. You know what I'm saying? Because we have left the building. Is there anybody else that's like that? You know what I'm saying? You will bump it on your way to church. Okay, that's you. Okay, I'm not alone. Okay. Does that make you? Did you feel any type of way like about that? Well, obviously, if you consistently do it. Here's a question I got for you. Because I've had to ask myself this question. If you had a church member in the car, when you have church members in your car, do you play gospel music? Do you play your secular playlist? I got something on my chin. Oh, I got it off. All right. When you got, if you ever rolling around with a church member inside your car, do you play gospel music or do you play secular? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of music you play. Like I know that majority of the time, especially if I roll with somebody who was a youth from my church, I'm playing nothing but Christian hip hop. Like it's straight, we're going straight Lecrae, Swoop, Andy Mineo. Like that's all that we're listening to. I'm not putting anything else on. If you a youth and you hop inside my car, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what you're getting. Aaron, good morning. You be in the building. It's good to have you this morning. So yeah, man, like, y'all don't forget, hit the question mark button if you got any questions about Christian music, secular music. Let me know. I want to answer your questions. So yeah, like, honestly, if I had a youth in my car, I'm bumping nothing but Lecrae, Swoop, Andy Mineo, you know what I'm saying? Like, you getting Christian hip hop if you hop in my car as a youth person from my church. Now, if you're not from my church, can I just be real? If you're not from my church, I don't care where. If I didn't meet you like in the church format, I don't care how old you are. I play everything in my car. Well, I take it back. My kids
No, I play a lot of stuff for my kids too. I ain't gonna lie to you. They really young though. My daughter did learn a Kanye West song, and it kind of creeped me out. It was Addiction. And it was only because Addiction was the first song on my playlist. You know what I'm saying? So every time I would get inside the car, the Apple Music plays the playlist like in order from alphabetical order, right? So Addiction would be the first Kanye song that would pop on, and my daughter just be like, make my heart smile. You know what I'm saying? So she used to be on it. So let me know what y'all be listening to, man. Do you change your music when church people hop in the car with you? Are you the same? Do you listen to the same stuff? Aaron, I know you was a Dipset fan. You bump a Dipset around other church members, huh? And they gonna hop in the car with you. You playing camera? Is it going down? Like, is Jules Santana bumping in the car to or from church? Is it happening, or are we playing something else? You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna make sure that we don't influence people the wrong way? You know what I'm saying? No Dipset. What we doing? What we doing when they hop inside the car? Let me know. So that's kind of like my stance on it. I do remember this. Anybody that remembers this, vouch for me. Do y'all? You said all day you playing Dipset? Okay, it don't matter. You hop in the car with Aaron. It don't matter if it's a Sunday. You getting Dipset straight up. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes down. I'm with it. I'm with you. Do any of y'all remember? You said only time I change is if a child is. Okay, yeah. So I'm kind of like that. Like if you're a little kid, like I said, I played some stuff around my daughter, but she's really young. You know, she's starting to repeat words now, so now I'll be kind of like watching out. But like if you anywhere between, you know what I'm saying, if you a little kid and especially if you talking, I'm not finna play a lot of that music, you know what I'm saying, around you, because I don't want you repeating that. I can't tell you not to cuss and then listen to a bunch of cussing music in front of you. Well, I can't be surprised if you cuss me out and you heard nothing but cuss words every time you was in my car. Like I can't be surprised by that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the same way. So I'm with you on that. So what I was about to bring up, anybody that grew up in church, right? You've been in church for a while. Like I didn't necessarily grow up in church, but I was going to church like when I was a little bit younger, and I do remember this wave happening. Does anybody remember G. Craig Lewis? Anybody remember G. Craig Lewis? Oh, you said jazz always works. Do you consider jazz secular or Christian? Does it matter? I'm glad you brought that up. Is jazz bad? I'm sure there was a point in time that, you know, if I would have threw some Christian lingo on a jazz song, people would have got mad at me. That might still be at this point in time. I don't know. Is jazz secular? Is it bad? Can we listen to jazz? Does God approve of jazz if jazz is on your playlist? Let me know. What y'all think? No more change. Alana, good morning. Good to see you this morning. What's on your playlist? What you be listening to? Do you be listening to everything? So yeah, I mentioned G. Craig Lewis. If anybody knows who G. Craig Lewis is, drop some emojis. I actually do believe that the man is a prophet. He has said some things that I really do believe was revealed to him by the Holy Spirit. But if you don't know who G. Craig is, and you feel like going down a rabbit hole of music industry conspiracy, which some of it is not really conspiracy, you know, I call it conspiracy only because I believe that he reaches with some of the things that he uses, but for the most part, he exposes the music industry. But I remember there was one point in time, you said Kenny G, the G stands for gang, straight up, you know what I'm saying? Like, or Godly, is Kenny Godly? Can we do that? Is that a good one? You said, I know people say it's corny, but I love gospel rap. Tadashi, the ambassador, Tripoli, Lecrae, etc. So I love Lecrae. I like Tadashi. I like him. He had one album that I thought was really good. Triple E is my guy. But Ambassador's a little. I ain't gonna say he's bad, but he's really Christian. Is it that he's like those are sermons. You know what I'm saying? Like those are he ain't trying to entertain you a little bit at all. I don't want you to dance. I don't want you to move. Unless you're praise and worshiping, because these are sermons on tracks. His music is a little harsh. Boney James and Kirk. I have no idea who that is. Boney James and Kirk Wallow. Are those jazz people? That's what we name them? We naming jazz people? Y'all got jazz musicians for me? I don't know nothing about no jazz people. And I admit I love conscious rap and Lupe Fiat. You a Lupe fan? Are you a Lupe fan? See, that's why you're a therapist. I figured it out. Lupe makes you a therapist. That's what happened. That's why I'm into mental health like that. You know what I'm saying? Lupe. It's Lupe's fault. I'm with you on that. He said his Stop the Funeral album is straight high. Maybe we listen to different. No, I don't know. No, I'm not a huge fan of Ambassador, so I haven't heard a whole lot of his stuff. I gotta listen to that then. Stop the Funeral. Man, look, that's a strong name. Stop the Funeral. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. See, I think people who are fans of Ambassador though are people who was like on Christian hip hop kind of like when it first started. And I was late to the party. So I have no shade for Ambassador. I was just late to the party. I just came late. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really get to Christian hip hop until Lecrae, and I didn't get to Lecrae really until church closed. It was when he pretty much went secular. You had DJ Cannon producing this album. He pretty much went secular. It's when I happened to Lecrae, and I thought he was tight. That's when I was like, oh, this is tight Christian rap. Like if this is what Christian rap is, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm with it with what I heard from Reach Records, Lecrae. You said, LOL, I'm Lupe's #1 fan. See him 11. You seen Lupe 11 times? Hold on, man. I'm about to fanboy you. You seen Lupe 11 times. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Okay, so Alana, anybody else got favorite artists that's not Christian, right? We all do, right? Let's be real. Who's your favorite artist? You know what I'm saying? Put them in the group chat. Real. I was saying this. Deshaun's about to come in soon. I was saying, there we go. What's happening?
What's up with it?
What's good, man?
Yeah, No More Kings. I'll rock with you. I don't know too many Lupe fans out there. I thought I was one of few.
Bro, I got excited. I was like, what?
And you said she's a therapist?
Right? And then we got a female, we have a girl, right? We have a woman.
Right. I ain't met too many female fans. That's what I like that.
I'm with it, but that's why she
look, I'm gonna say straight up. I'm gonna say up front. I'm not ashamed to say that I listen to secular music just as much, if not more, than gospel. And that's no shade there. Now, granted, I grew up a little unconventional as a Christian. You know, non-denominational churches, free dress codes, you know what I mean? And I actually went to a couple of...
One of the churches you went to, that they didn't have, like, street dress codes?
Nope. Band Ministries, Bible Enrichment in Inglewood, Bible Enrichment Fellowship International Church, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, right by the post office in Inglewood, off of Hillcrest. Well, it's off of Kelso and Spruce, but you know.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about, actually.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I went. Look, D Smoke go there. D Smoke mom sang over there. His mom sang over there. I actually met him as a kid. We used to go. You know, that's where I knew him from going to church all the time. I knew his mom. His mom was the lead singer in the choir. You know, we was all kids, so you know we did our kid stuff in Sunday school, but. That's how I first learned about D Smoke, Sir, the whole family. His dad that he talks about on his albums, like I met all of them personally because we were all at the church, working in the church. My grandmother was part of the media crew, you know, filming the sermons and everything. So, yeah, D Smoke is real close to home for me.
That's what's
because
up. And I knew he had a Christian background when I listened to his
oh
album. I
yeah,
was like,
oh
oh
yeah,
snap. Yeah.
oh yeah, it's real. It's real. Like I don't question that, and I proudly say that's one of my favorite artists as
Yeah, D
well.
Smoke, yeah.
Especially local. I got a whole playlist full of local artists that I personally either met or know in some fashion that are from the hometown, and I promoted it not too long ago on Spotify. But anyway, yeah, I like this topic because growing up, there has been a lot of conversation about secular music and Christian music and the backgrounds and the sources. And, you know, I grew up with a very open mind
Uh-huh.
in regards to Christianity. Like my grandmother was an ordained minister, and she would always say that she believed that God moves differently.
I think you froze. Yeah. I think you froze. If anybody is listening in and you have any questions, hit the question mark box. Send questions in. Yeah, it froze a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Let's
But
go.
yeah, I don't know what I missed, but I was basically saying like my grandmother understood that each generation understood things differently. Like God used each generation in their own unique way, and they had their own way of praising God.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why we get, you know, contemporary music the way that we have. Like Kirk Franklin was unique in his time. Lecrae. I've personally rocked with Canton Jones. He's from Miami, but I've been rocking with him for years. You know, my cousin Mark, we was real big on him, you know, at a point in time, but I still rock with him. And I could still consider him still consider him contemporary gospel music, you know, but he adds a flavor that can reach the masses, or as we, you know, discussed before, casting a new net to catch fish.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
somebody
saying?
just said they love Canton Jones. Yeah.
That's a friend right there. Miss No More Change. I don't know your actual name, but that is a friend right there. She already
Lecrae and
checked
Canton
off
Jones.
2. She checked off 2. Hey, Marla, I see you, cousin. I see you. Maya,
You
Brittany.
family? Okay, Marla, what's happening? What's
I
happening?
see y'all,
Good
folks.
to
I
have
see
you.
y'all family. What's up with it?
Um,
You know what I'm saying?
so
They kind of told me
Kurt
to
used
work.
to get condemned for that. They used to be on him hard,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. But
For
my
what he
thing
used to
is,
do.
how
Yeah,
many
and I used
souls
to
did
be
he
like,
win
man,
with that approach, though?
I
How
know,
many
right?
souls did he win with that approach? It was my thing is everybody wasn't with
You know, one of
the hymns and the slow singing. They needed something to make, you know, young
the
folks want to move. Youngest want to move.
right.
Fact. And nowadays,
I think.
yeah,
Do you have your phone connected to your car? I think it's throwing your sound off a little bit. It looks like your lips are moving differently from the sound.
let me try. I'm gonna try to figure this car out in a second. I'm in some new joint for right now.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you clearly though. It's just the lips is a little.
Okay. Okay. As long as I'm clearly understood, you know.
Oh yeah, it's right. It's right now. Like it caught up. Like it's straight now when you just said that.
It might have been connecting to my Wi-Fi nearby because it's still, I don't know what range it has by the house, but
But I remember when I first started listening to like I said this a little bit earlier. When I first got put on Lecrae, it was like it was like in the middle of Rehab. Rehab had just came out. I heard like one song. And I liked it a little bit, and then kind of went to Church Clothes. But I noticed like when I used to look at Church Clothes and I used to look at the comments on YouTube, and I'm like, man, bro, if J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar would have dropped this, I think your phone froze again. I'm not sure. But I know that some of you guys are still listening, right? So if I felt like if J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar, or we can even go for an older artist. Okay, he hopped out. He can hop back in anytime. And remember, anybody who wants to hop in at any time, hop in. Alana, if you want to hop in, you can hop in. And remember, if you want to ask questions, hit the question mark button below. But yeah, so when I first started listening to them, I used to look at the comments and see people arguing all the time. And I'm like, man, if it was Kendrick or J. Cole, like it wouldn't have been people arguing. people would have been happy that they was doing, you know, something positive. But not Lecrae's comments. He was getting condemned for it. It's like, that's weird. You good? Okay.
Yeah, I had the connection situation going, but we all good.
But yeah, I was saying that, like, you know, when I started listening to that and I started looking at like the comments of people on YouTube, like from Lecrae, and I saw a bunch of people condemning him. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, whenever Kendrick, J. Cole, or somebody like that do positive stuff, they get praise from the secular community. You know what I'm saying? But from the Christian community, if we try to go out the box to reach people, you get condemned for it. You know what I'm saying? You get hated for it. It's like, nah, don't bring that out of church stuff over here. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what's funny about that?
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that? That just pretty much lets you know how the world rock. It's
Right.
like when it comes to worldly stuff, the expectations are, is it fire? Do we dance? Do we you know what I'm saying? Whatever's, you know, popping at the time, but they hold Christian, or I'm gonna just say gospel music, to a whole different standard. And it's like, if you're not coming off as holier than thou or on some saint type activity, you know, singing and, you know, the typical, you know, emotionally charging music, and they not messing with it. And see, a lot of people are traditional, especially when it comes to their music, and they have, you know, these religious views on music, and so they only associate gospel in so many ways, which is what makes this current phase of contemporary music over the last, I'll say 10, 30 years actually, so unique. Like, it's an explosion. Like, you know, I honestly believe like God knew he had to do something different to reach, you know, the younger generations, because we're not hearing that no more. Like, nobody's singing hymns, nobody knows hymns really. It's like, and a lot of these kids, they really, some of them be embarrassed to even try to sing, even if they can sing. And it's like, it's not encouraged. I mean, let's stick with secular music. Look at how songs are now compared to like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. Like, they sing way different. And honestly, I'm a little concerned about playing certain R&B nowadays with my kids. Like, I got to worry about them singing about, you know, intercourse and all this on every track, or calling a woman out her name, or somebody cheating on a song, and, you know, in the story or something like that.
Though. They are more vulgar now with the language, but infidelity has been a theme in R&B music forever.
For years. No, for real. It's some songs that was some bops that was like real foul.
And I be like
Whitney Houston, that "Saving All My Love for You" song.
Don't tell me that's about infidelity.
She was waiting for somebody else's man. She was saving it for somebody else's man.
Yeah, I was just talking to my homeboy not too long ago about me and Mrs. Jones. He thought that I was married. I said, no, man.
No, that wasn't.
She got a husband, bro. Like,
well, maybe he thought that she was his missus. But I'm like, why would y'all just have a thing going on if it's your missus though? I mean, I get it. Like, if it's like a song about role play, like, he might have to let us know that. But I ain't getting that feeling. I am not getting that feeling. You know, man. But yeah, I ain't got no problem, man. Because actually, I used to there was this like seminar I went to when I was a teenager, and they basically blasted neo soul, and that I went to war for neo soul. I still go to war for neo soul. It was church based. It was, you know, Christian based. I wouldn't necessarily say it was a church thing. It was held at a church, but they were basically like bashing all my favorite neo soul artists: Jill Scott, Erykah Badu, Eric, but like Usher and all of them. Like, now, granted, I like some of the R&B artists they mentioned.
Said they told me and Mrs. Jones. I told my wife about that, and her heart broke.
It's real. You gotta listen to the lyrics closely, people. Listen to the words. They add context. The song hit different when you know the lyrics.
So you said
but I don't think I gotta tell these folks that. I don't think I gotta. Bash it, man. Now, Jill Scott is that's a personal favorite of mine.
Woo, I love Jill.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love Jill.
And actually, me and my wife connected because in part because of her interest in Jill Scott as well.
Really?
But I ain't gonna go into that story. Yeah, that's a whole story. I have to tell y'all on a separate video or something. But that'll cut into this. But basically, I knew she was special because she chose Jill Scott when I asked her who her favorite artist was.
That's
One of her favorites. So anyway, but yeah, so the speaker was, basically calling out secular music in all aspects, how it sounds nice, and basically telling us, you got to listen to what they saying, but they into some other stuff behind this music. Like he was getting into like the 5%ers and the other type of worship, and I'm like, cool, thanks for the awareness, but you're not finna sit up here and tell me I can't listen to good music. Like, I don't care what you talking about, and call me a rebel, call me a heathen, whatever you want to say, but I love God and I love my music. And my thing is, I know what I take from music because there's layers to this stuff. God got layers, we got layers too. We more than just praise and worship.
I agree with you.
Now, granted, I'm not saying don't do it at all times. I'm just letting y'all know, like, we got more feelings than just praise and worship, and God gave us that for a reason. So if we decide to sing about it and talk about it, what's wrong with that? If you present it properly.
I love that perspective, because I think that if we try to stick to saying all music must sound this way and must come out this way, or even in the context it must be aimed directly at God, then I feel like that doesn't encapsulate the whole full human experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta move around and talk about some other stuff. Some uncomfortable stuff sometimes, you know what I'm saying? That
right, and it's not even a matter of us being haughty, prideful about it. It's just we speaking on our experience. Like, it is what it is. Like, my thing is, God gets all the glory at all times. First thing in the morning, all day, pray without ceasing, praise without ceasing. In my in my feelings. But there's some things in this world, when people needing therapy and stuff, you got to talk about stuff. And music is usually one way to get out there. Music usually get that out there. Sometimes you can't explain some things, but if I'm sitting up here and I got a song on my heart that's expressing how I feel better than I can, who are you to tell me I'm wrong for that?
Now let me ask you this question. I've heard this question asked before. Have you ever heard God speak to you through a secular song?
Yes.
Me,
plenty of time. Daily. Sometimes the song don't even have lyrics. I'll just be coming up with lyrics, singing, listening to some instrumentals that I'll be having on my heart. Like, my thing is, God can speak to you through any and everything that He's created.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or including music that may not be intended for Him. You might be listening. It's this one old video from YouTuber, Spoken Reasons, and he talks. It's this. I forgot the name of the skit, but he basically was talking to his homie, and he was saying how, like, he felt convicted and like God really spoke to him through this special song, right? So the dude, his friend is into, he like, all right, like, what is it? So they hop in the car, they start playing it, and it's a mystical song. Like, I don't even know the name of the song, but it's like, where did you find God's voice in this song? But he was like, his friend had to turn the music down, was like, are you serious? He was like, don't judge me, or like, God know my heart, or something like that. And then they kept playing, and he just went along with it like, well, if God spoke to you, like, I'ma just, okay, I don't know what he said, but if it's in this song, like, but I think the way the song went, like, if I had to guess what the voice, God's voice was saying, it was basically saying, like, look, when in the grand scheme of things, individually, us as humans, we're not much. We come and go, like, we started, came from dirt, go back to dirt. You know what I'm saying? So in reality, it's like, we don't really control much. Everything, like, you know what I'm saying? So, and the song was kind of like, it was like a real, what's the word? Like, it was like a song where it was like just roasting, like, this and this and that. You ain't this, you ain't that. And he was like, I guess, he took it personally. He was like, you know what? You're right, I am nothing. And then maybe God came in and was like, but through me, you know what I'm saying? I am.
Be anything, yeah.
Right. So maybe that's what he got. But I mean, I'm just going, this is outside of it. He never expressed that through the video. It was just my interpretation of it and analysis, just saying, this man heard a song that spoke to him in such a way where it was like, you know what? it made me think about God in as far as how great He is.
Yeah.
It's like you said, you never know where it comes from. I could be listening. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm trying to find a good example without being too
I mean,
out there, but
I have a lot.
it's. I know I'm not the only one who's heard a song and immediately just was thankful to God, and it wasn't a gospel
Yeah,
song.
man. I think the song "Unconditional Love" by Tupac is what got me to forgive my dad. I heard that song one day.
See?
I was working. I had on headphones and everything, and I remember this is one of the first times I like really, really prayed. That song is the song that brought me to tears. It was "Unconditional Love" by Tupac. He was my favorite artist when I was growing up. But that song is real. You know what I'm saying? It's just a song that hits on some real topics. You know what I'm saying? And it was like you said earlier. It was saying how I feel. It found the words for how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
I
see,
feel like
all
God spoke
things
to me in the
work
midst of that.
together.
Yeah.
All things work together for
For
God's
the good
glory,
of
so
those
we
who
can't
love
forget
God, you know
that.
what I'm saying?
We can't forget that. We cannot forget that all things work together for his will, his glory.
So that has
And
to
so the
include-
funny, we don't know how, but it does. It's like he's the only person, excuse me, not person. He's the only one that can take a negative person, a negative situation, any negativity, and spin it into a blessing.
Right.
It's
right.
like, oh,
I think his phone paused a little bit again. You guys, anybody wants to hop in? Let me know. Hop in. Any questions? Hit the question mark button, and send in your questions. While his phone is loading. I hope you guys are enjoying this conversation, man. It feels good to kind of talk to somebody about, you know, the stuff that we be doing anyway. We be doing it anyway. We just don't be talking about it, right? You know what I'm saying? We got to talk about. Matter of fact, y'all start putting songs in the group chat that are secular that you heard God speak to you through, right? If it's secular, you heard God speak to you through it, put it in the group chat. Put it in the group chat. I'm start putting stuff, right? My Life, Mary J. Blige. Ooh, do y'all know that one? Do y'all know My Life by Mary J. Blige? She be talking to God on that song. That's a gospel song. Miseducation, shoot, the whole album. But the last song, definitely, Lauryn Hill. Miseducation, Lauryn Hill. What's the other one by Lauryn Hill? Tell Him. Tell Him. Put the name of the, is there any songs that you heard God speak to you through, Arbany? Put it in the group chat. Tell Him, Lauryn Hill, Miseducation, Lauryn Hill, My Life by Mary J. Blige. We're gonna see if Deshaun's coming back. What else? What else we got? You know, I feel like I heard God speak to me through They Don't Really Care About Us by Michael Jackson. Is that the name of the song? Is it They Don't Really Care About Us? Is that the whole name? I don't want to mess up the name. They Don't Really Care About Us. Can I just put MJ? Y'all know who that is, right? You said that's your song? Oh, good question. I'm gonna wait till Deshaun get back on to ask this.
all right, I'm here.
You see this question? All right,
I'm listening.
All right, cool. All right, it says, how do you feel about Satanism in music? Do you think it's wrong for artists like Lil Nas X to portray Satan in their music? Do you want to take a stab at
it? You know what? It's funny because when I got interviewed by a friend, and this was when this was a few years back, and The Weeknd actually had a music video that had some, you know, satanic type imagery and things in it.
There's a lot of music videos that got some. some
but see, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, it got me thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is this the artist? Is this the artist like expression, or is this the director's creative direction that's doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Now, my thing is, you know, they may be under obligation, or they may really feel that way. I don't know. But on a personal note, I need to understand what you're getting at, because my thing is, well, you saying Satanism, not necessarily Satan being portrayed, but like Satanism. That's different.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, it's a free world. Well, at least America, to an extent, it is.
Uh-huh.
I know in some places you getting actual stones thrown at you for, you know, believing in God.
Right.
So, but my opinions of it is, you know, we live in a world where, you know, at least in American society, we can do just about anything. We can, you know, freedom of speech and freedom of press, and, you know, we got freedoms. And God also gave us freedoms.
Right.
You know, we got free will, you know, make our own decisions and things like that. So you have to consciously make a choice to choose God every day, just like other folks got a conscious choice not to choose God and choose other, you know, idols or, you know, gods to worship. So do I take it a type of way? I mean, no, I get an eerie feeling about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not something I'm gonna enjoy, but like, I didn't watch the Lil Nas X video, and I'm not sure why I would want to, considering how much, you know, everybody's been talking about.
At this point, you probably don't even have to see it.
But
I watched it when it first came out.
What I'm trying to get at is, what is he trying to present to this audience? Like, what is the point of using that imagery?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, these videos have meaning behind it. They have creative visions. I want to know what your vision is. Like, what story are you trying to tell by using this? It's like, who are you trying to provoke? What are you trying to say?
So I think
I'm not looking at it as, you know, you worshiping Satan off rip unless you just directly call it out as such.
Right. Yeah,
but for you to use that, why? Just why? Why?
Let me read these couple comments real quick, and I'm gonna answer that, because I agree with you. Alana said "Golden" by Jill Scott. Love that song. "Love" by Music and "Golden" by Chrisette Michelle. I love both of them songs. Well, you know I love "Love" by Music. That go hard.
Music is my guy too. I train my voice to him.
I
train my singing voice to that guy. Not even gonna front.
So let me see.
He made me comfortable singing.
The Lil Nas X video. Okay, so I saw it, and now it was, the imagery is disturbing. You know, I always told people who I told to watch it, I said, don't watch it with your kids. You know what I'm saying? Because I do believe that, you know, all of our imagery gets lodged into our memory at different points in our lives, and they just get triggered. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe, like, you can't
gotta guard your eyes, your ears, and your heart.
Your imagination is sacred. You know what I'm saying? You can't just lean that everywhere. So I agree with that, and I think the same thing. I was thinking is what you're thinking. It's like, who you're trying to provoke. Now, the stuff that he said after the music video came out, it seems like it was really a shot mainly at Christians. You know what I'm saying? Who kind of been condemning him to hell for being homosexual. So it's like, okay.
And I don't know, y'all should look up Canton Jones's response to that video and his perspective on it. I agree with, because he mentioned that, you know, he believed that Lil Nas X was somebody who may have went to church as a kid and wasn't allowed to express himself musically.
Yeah, I think
like he basically said he wasn't allowed to rap, but I'm like, nah, he probably did. He was probably at one of them churches where it was like, you know, there was more condemnation and judgment than there was acceptance and love.
Yeah, but he
and you know when you and you know it might be church hurt, basically church hurt.
Yeah, he said he didn't start rapping until a later age, but I mean I've heard him talk about his story, and he deals with a lot of trauma like all around. You know what I'm saying? Even outside.
Right, but nobody knows his story, and what I have an issue with when it comes to, you know, Christian culture at times is we always talking about people gonna go to hell for doing this and this and that, like we sinless.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to hell for being a homosexual. You're gonna go to hell for stealing. It's like, okay, our job isn't to threaten them. Our job is to love them and bring them show them the light, tell them the good news, and they can make their own decision from there. But we gotta be encouraging and living lives that say, hey, this is the light. Like, come to the light. Yeah. This is why you should be over here. You're not, you're going to go to hell for acting like that, living like that, being like that. Like, no. Like, I got a personal story where it's like, I've seen the change. You know, I know God is real. I know, like, changes of heart are real. And it's like, it's really a battle of souls out here. Like, it's really a spiritual war out here. It's nothing with this world stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't, it like World War III might be spiritual. It ain't gonna be on in the natural, to be real with you.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel that way because, I mean, look at that. Like, with every Lil Nas X video, we trying to combat it with something, you know, wholesome. Like, we trying to combat evil with something wholesome. For every, you know, provocative song that's on the radio, we trying to introduce our kids to something beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the battle. It ain't fighting the next part, fighting your neighbor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the ideas, it's the concepts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think Alex said something interesting. Let me address this real quick. He said, "Could not agree more. God does not care if you're gay or straight. It's all the same." So
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Let me say this. I think he does care if you're gay or straight because it's in scripture. So I think he cares about your sexuality because he created sexuality. So I think he does care. But I'll say this. What I don't think he does is exclude you from salvation or exclude you from his family because of you expressing your trauma. You know what I'm saying? Of you having some kind of expression of your trauma before you come to him, or you know what I'm saying? You're acting out. Because I think, kind of like how we're doing right now, God does that. God can see past the surface issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can see, like the Lil Nas X video. I don't think God was looking at the imagery. God was looking at the trauma that was causing him to make that video.
Right,
you know
to push that. Right,
yeah.
Exactly. That's
so
what I'm saying. Like,
what separates us from God is that right there. Is that he never gonna look at the surface. He always gonna look past that. So yeah, pull up, Gabe.
Right. And see, and when I say, like, God doesn't care, I mean it in such a way as, like, yes, of course God cares because he, you know, he created things a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as his love for you, he does not care about what you know what I'm saying? He don't care about none of that. Like, he knows, you know, that we're flawed and we're not sinless and all these things, but he's going to love you anyway. But the thing is, where we get our conviction and, you know, is, all right, once we know better, once we know and understand better, are we going to do better?
Yeah.
That's where our free will comes in.
Right.
It's like, all right, if I know it's wrong, am I going to continue to do it? Or am I going to repent and change my ways?
Yeah. And you know,
because I don't judge nobody. Like, I got friends that are, you know what I'm saying? I got gay friends that I know, and, you know, I know people who thought that they were gay or bi, and they was like, you know, all of a sudden they went back, or vice versa. They thought they were straight and went the other way. My thing is, it didn't change my relationship with them because that's a personal situation. And, you know, people was like, oh, you can't be born gay, or, you know, I was born this way. I'm like, look, that's not for me to judge. That's your life. That's your cross to bear. I got my own cross to bear. All I know is I'm going to love you anyway.
Yeah.
So
really,
it is what it is.
Can't be proved. I can't prove to you whether or not you was born gay. It's not important to me. You know what I'm saying?
My thing is, what if God is using that situation with you to bring glory to his name in some way?
Yeah,
see, ain't nobody ready for that one. What if God is using your situation, all your trauma? What if God is using your trauma, your struggles, your issues, your sins to bring glory to him?
Yeah. And that's why we are.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that
it's like you gotta be real with
good of those who love God and called according to his purpose. I honestly think, you know what I'm saying, like 10 years ago, you could have condemned me for a million things. You know what I'm saying? There's still some things you can condemn me for now. You know what I mean? So I always look at it in that format that, you know what I'm saying, there was a moment in my life where I was far away from God and I wasn't trying to follow him, and he still used that. Because now all of that is my testimony. You know what I'm saying? So
trials and tribulations turn into testimony, man.
Yeah.
That's facts. Like, my thing is, like, sometimes you don't really know how good God is for you or how good he is until you go through something, until you get a breakthrough. You know what I'm saying? Until it's something that you really struggle with or something that you didn't even know was an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got a story. It's like, you didn't get to where you are today, and you can't tell me you didn't get to where you are today without going through something, or without getting through something, or without actively resisting something, because some of us ain't got through everything. We still dealing with a lot of things from our childhoods and past and yesterday, and we still got a lot of grievances and grudges we working through. But nonetheless, you here now,
Right.
praising God.
Right.
You know, you here now, thanking God.
Right.
There's a reason for you. You know, there's a purpose for you. He ain't done with you yet. As you know, as Steve Harvey said in his, you know, one of his, you know, comedy specials, like, God ain't through with me yet. He not through with you. He not through with us. And you got to take every day to really, you know, tap in and go, you know, Lord, how can I be a vessel for you today?
So imagine
What can I do?
If that's how we're living, you know what I'm saying? And then what we keep doing with Christian culture is setting the bar higher and higher and higher and higher. And it's funny because the bar that's already set is Jesus. Like, that's the perfect bar. It don't need to be no higher than that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
But see I agree. And what we have to do with each generation is find a way to take that bar and make it make sense.
yeah, make it make sense. That's all. We ain't trying to lower
Because
the
my
bar.
thing,
Just make
because
it make
it's
sense.
just like there's different versions of the Bible, we gotta present Jesus in a way without taking any context away from who he
Yeah, from his
is
character.
and what he's done.
Yeah.
Without taking away from him, we have to find a way to present it in such a way where it's received.
Yeah.
You can't catch fish with old bait. You can't catch fish with no bait. You gotta have the right bait. You gotta cast a new net. You can't send the old net. You can't put new wine in old wineskins, as the Bible says.
Right.
You gotta come through with fresh ideas. Modern problems require modern solutions, as Dave Chappelle meme goes, and that's his facts. Like, Jesus spoke to the people in his era in ways that they understood, which is why he was so effective in reaching so many.
Right.
He was a great teacher because he knew how to teach to the people that were in front of him.
Yeah.
If you're an entertainer, you have to cater to the audience you're in front
You
of,
got to.
especially when you're like a comedian. When you're a comedian, you got to know your crowd, your audience. You can't tell certain jokes in certain places.
Right.
They won't be received well. You know, Jesus was like, okay, I can't talk to these people about farming because these are ironsmiths,
Yeah.
or, you know, blacksmiths. So I got to use parables that relate to blacksmithing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, iron sharp. You know, I can't tell them the story about the seeds, but I can tell them about iron sharpening iron, and they know that.
Yeah. See, and that's why we gotta, instead of trying to be countercultural, like just evading, like staying away from culture. You know what I'm saying? I think we're supposed to be invading culture. We're supposed to be in there.
No, we are supposed to interrupt everything.
Yeah.
Like Jesus was kicking down doors, and I second that wholeheartedly. I'm ready to bust in like the Kool-Aid man. Like, what's up with y'all?
Oh yeah.
It's Jesus up in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be that zealous. You gotta have that energy, like, because my thing is they won't respect anything short of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can come cool, calm, and collected, and some people receive it like that. But honestly, if you don't have that mentality of not, I'm gonna force it on you, but I'm gonna be bold and upfront about it, they won't respect that. Because my thing is, you gotta be a little crazy to believe in something that you can't see.
Yeah, you gotta be.
You gotta be a little crazy to have zero proof.
Real quick. Let me read these comments real quick.
Gotta be crazy.
It's crazy because the higher they put it in, the more they believe they can never reach it either. That's why they're the biggest hypocrites, because while they're setting the standard higher and higher, they're doing the very thing behind closed doors. It's true. So we have to be authentic and relatable so we can show others who we are and have been where they have been. Yeah, Paul said it in the book of Romans. He said, the people that's telling y'all to follow the law, they don't even follow the law themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Or what was that the scripture in Matthew we went over where Jesus was calling out the priests?
Yeah, calling out the hypocrites. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah,
that's the same situation right there. That's the exact situation he's alluding to right there.
Yeah, because one of the things he told them
in the word, the living word.
Yeah, when he addressed his disciples, one of the things he told them was, don't put religious demands on people that crush them, and you won't lift a finger to help them pick it up. That's what hypocrites do. And that's what we keep saying through the church. These crazy religious demands. Don't listen to this. Don't touch that. Don't go here. Don't talk to them. And I'm like, do we need
and we doing it, and they doing all of it. We doing all of it. Wait, look, and some. You know what I'm saying?
I think another reason why why. That's another reason why people experience so much church hurt. Because when you put those kind of demands on people, you raise yourself up to a higher pedestal because you make yourself look like you don't do none of that stuff. So when people find out
But see, I
that
think
you fraud, that you've been doing it too, then they don't want to go to church.
everybody
anymore.
messed up. Right. Now they don't want to mess with nobody that got an honest intention. But what I would, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
You know,
facts.
so
And see, oh, now I remember what I was gonna say. So I don't like the idea. Like, my thing is, it's okay to raise the bar and set a standard and things like that. But God already did that. So why are you adding extra pressure for the sake of religion or for the sake of your church or whatever? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
my thing is that's the problem right there. The fact that we're expected to dress a certain way, act a certain, move a certain. Like, God already wrote the rules. And to be honest with you, I think the reason why, it's church, establishments and the church, create certain traditions and rules is because Jesus don't tell you exactly how to do a lot of this stuff.
he don't.
Or God don't tell us exactly how to do it. So we like, oh, well, we got to do it like this. We got to celebrate this event every year or this every month. And you know what I'm saying? We got to do tithes like this and this and that. Like, my dad taught me, like, the way he paid tithes was with his income tax. He didn't pay every week. He said when he got his income taxes, he took 10% of that, gave that up, and that was his taxes.
Wow,
That's how he
I've
did that.
never
What
heard
was
that
his
before.
tithing? That was his form of tithing. He wasn't giving money every week. Like, I remember when I was a kid, I thought it was like every week because, like, my mom would give me $1 to put in the envelope to throw in the bowl. And then as I got older, you keep hearing it, and I'm like, yeah, it's to support the church, and I get what it's for. But if I ain't got it, why should I feel bad?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, why does it seem like y'all passing the plate multiple times, like y'all begging? I'm like, this seems like a game out here.
Right.
It don't feel like, it's like, let it be in my heart to give, because to be honest with you, the most cheerful givers are the reason why the church stays standing.
Yeah, it's the people who give cheerfully.
Not the ones who feel like they got to do it out of obligation. That's how we lose the church.
Yeah.
People feel like they got to give 10%. They got to give. It's like, no, you give what you can, and if it's just your heart and your presence is so big, because the church can honestly last without tithing.
Yeah, I think it can.
And in the Bible, tithing was for a specific people. Like, when the discussion we had about God was speaking to specific groups in the Bible.
Yeah.
When we tell these stories, and we try to make them relatable to us, but we have to understand the context of the scriptures and where they are. Hey, they were talking to this people to move like that.
Yeah.
He talked to us to move a certain way too.
Yeah.
So we need to understand, sit back and listen to what he's saying.
And then you know that
I don't think we need to set up tithing.
Especially the ones about tithing. They keep that one because it keeps steady income. So they want to tell that one. So
Right, but we gotta understand why those scriptures were used in such a corrupt manner at the time, because what our upbringing and understanding is from a previous culture that needed that money in a certain way, and they figured, okay, if we throw the Bible at them, they can't deny that.
They got to give it now.
Especially if you're a fundamentalist and you take the Bible word for word.
Growing up, I used to feel in debt to God. Like, I used to feel like I was in debt. Like, if I missed a paycheck, I used to be like, oh, I got double it when I get paid again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to really.
I mean, if that's the way you get down, like, that's cool. That's your conviction. But I was the type of person who knew he ain't had no money. So my thing was, my tithing comes in time.
Yeah,
I'm here at church. I'm praising.
I was scared.
Right. Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When you move like,
I was with fear because I thought that I wasn't going to be blessed by God financially if I didn't give anything.
But answer me this, though. Was that fear from the way the tithing was taught to you, or was that fear something personal because you felt like you weren't going to be blessed if you didn't do it?
I think it's a combination of, I think the teaching made me feel like that. I think the way that it was taught made me feel like I wasn't going to be blessed.
Because I've been, like I said, I've had a very unique Christian experience. I've been around different types of congregations, and I've seen a lot of different religious movement. Like, religion is just, I would advise folks to look up the word religion and tell me if that gives you a different opinion on what spirituality really should be, as far as being a Christian, a Muslim, or anything. Mm-hmm. Let me know if the definition of the word religion changes your mind or opens your mind to a new world of what these religions, quote unquote, really are. Because I actually studied about 7 different ones in middle school, and that was part of our school curriculum, and it changed my whole thought process. Oh, how about this? This was in 2001, right after 9/11 happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when we got to the Islam subject, people was real uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's like, how can y'all preach this and then that happens?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually talked to an actual Muslim, and they were like, we don't have a such word as jihad. No More Chains. I don't know if you follow Lupe Fiasco on that, but he was like, there's no such word as jihad
Yeah, I've heard him say
in,
that
in,
too.
in, in
Jihad
Islam.
don't exist.
It's like, where's that word? And honestly, I've never heard it except for, but I'm like, okay, let's say if there was such thing as jihad, y'all forgot about the Crusades that the Christians went on?
Right. Killed a
Like,
bunch
they
of
didn't go to war in the name of Jesus? Like, my thing is, like, you can't go one without the other. Like, God is a multifaceted, you know, being.
Yeah.
And there's levels and layers to that. So, as much as he's a God of love, I'm not going to necessarily say he's a God of war, but he has anger issues. He's jealous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not that you looking at my girl jealous.
Yeah. I've seen some stuff in the Old Testament that I've seen some people just try to just completely throw out, because I'm like, they don't want to even say that about God because they're scared that it'll ruin what people seem to think his character is. But I'm like, it's like you said,
And see, the Bible that we read leave a lot of stuff out too.
We don't understand every single thing about him, and I think that's arrogant to say that we should or we do. You know?
Absolutely. But I think the fact that, but see, if you, that's why this needs to be taught more often.
Mm-hmm.
We have to teach that our emotions aren't sinful.
Right. Oh, I agree with that.
They were given to us for a reason. We have to understand. See, God gave them to us for a reason. It is our job to study and learn how they're supposed to be used. Why do I feel this lust? What is this feeling I have?
Mm-hmm.
Why do I feel this desire to be around this person, or I want to, you know what I'm saying, I got these feelings for this person, or why am I angry all the time, or why am I so happy? Like, why am I depressed? Like, you got to understand, learn, and it takes a real strong spiritual grounding to do it. And I testify to that, because it's hard to look at your own depression and be like, okay, what is God trying to get? Like, what is God trying to deliver me from, or what is God speaking through me? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's difficult to be an Eeyore type of person when in your heart you want to, you know, you see a bunch of Winnie the Poohs out there, and Tiggers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Winnie the Pooh was actually a story based on a lot of different, you know, mental health issues and emotions.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Like, Eeyore literally is like the personification of depression.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah.
And then Tigger's like ADHD. Winnie the Pooh is like a glutton. Like, it's crazy. Like, and you know, stories that people come up with, and
Mm-hmm.
ourselves, like, being so real quick. I almost cut, so I ain't gonna.
You losing signal too.
And I
Right. You losing signal too. It's cutting off.
feel like people had strong language, and but you know what I'm saying? I just feel like as a culture, you know, Christianity, we need to really open our minds up and stop acting like we saints. Like, I don't like that concept. Like, we all sin. You want to consider yourself a saint and blameless and all of that, that's cool, but we got to preach a sinner's truth. We got to preach from a sinner's perspective, like, hey, I ain't all perfect, but I know that I have an understanding or a blessing on me or a testimony that can help somebody else. Like, I think counseling is basically like, you know, I need help with something, I got an issue, and somebody may have a testimony to speak on that and say, hey, I went through something or I experienced something
Yeah.
through somebody or, whatever. We got to be real. Like some Christians is afraid to be real with themselves and look in the mirror and go, I'm the problem. I'm that problem.
Yeah.
I ain't perfect. We all trying to be. Let's be real. But we got to work together, like, for real.
Yeah. And I think there's actually more encouragement in that than the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like when I try to picture myself, because I think even the concept of like what you said, you know what I'm saying, like the concept of saint and sinner, like the way I always view it is like, you know what I'm saying, I know I'm not perfect, but at the same time, like there's the being saved makes me good in God's eyes, so none of the other stuff really matters. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like what we don't do is we get saved is we never refocus our attention back on what we're supposed to be doing with our faith. We kind of stay in the area of to sin or not to sin. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's kind of just going back and forth of am I good, am I bad, am I good, am I bad? And I'm like, man, now look, figure out what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about whether or not you're good or you're bad. What makes you good is the fruit of your righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Like, what fruit are you producing?
My audio wilding right now, but I'm still with it though.
Yeah.
Y'all go ahead and carry on. I'm gonna figure this little technical difficulty. See,
all right,
devil
cool.
playing though. I'm saying something.
So I'm grateful that you joined in though. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to hop off soon. So thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
No problem, man. Anytime, we on it.
Thanks, man. So let me look at this comment real quick. I'm only gonna be on for a few more minutes, you guys. You said you're right. None of us may judge others for their convictions as we are convicted ourselves. Pretty sure DeAndre said that a couple weeks back. It resonated with me. Yeah, it's true. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's where, you know what I'm saying, I kind of move into if you look in the book of Hebrews, like there's a moment where the writer is saying like, yo, we had milk. You know what I'm saying? We had milk. We talked about baptisms, communion, repentance. We talked about all that. Now let's move on. Let's talk about faith and high priesthood and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've actually, you know, received just a little bit of criticism, not a lot. I might receive more in the future. I don't know. For not really like sticking to some of those basic tenements of Christianity, which I think that's the reason why this Q&A is gonna be good as we move forward, as we keep doing them, because I can kind of talk about some of the basic stuff here. You know what I'm saying? Like whether or not we're gonna listen to secular or Christian music, or whether or not, you know, you're gonna cuss, or what's your identity in the church. See, stuff like that, I feel like we can have that on this format. But I feel like with the teaching of what's applicable for you to advance in life, we gotta move past that, man, because for years, man, Arbany, you said yeah, the relationship with God is way bigger than your sins. Deshaun said, still here. My boy's still in the building, right? So like for years, you know what I'm saying? Let me ask y'all this. Like when you see Jesus and the disciples around, how often do you see Jesus like taking time to condemn his disciples? They was messing up. You know what I'm saying? Like my boy Peter cut off somebody's ear right there in front of Jesus, and not one time did Jesus say, man, you keep cutting off ears, you're gonna go to hell. You know what I'm saying? He did say whoever lives by the sword dies by the sword, but that's practical wisdom. That's for your lifetime here. You know what I'm saying? How often do you see him addressing them and telling them that this is going to lead you to hell? Now, there's some parables that sound like they lead to eternal disconnection from God. You know what I'm saying? But his teaching was to empower them to go on his mission. That's why the last thing he said before he left them was, look, go out and, you know what I'm saying, give yo, you said updating the RTC, appreciate it. You know what I'm saying, go out and make disciples of the world, of every nation. Like, how can you be condemned and do that at the same time? You can't. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of Matthew, he tells them, I'm sending y'all out like my father sent me. I wouldn't do that if I felt like you were unworthy of work. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we keep doing. We keep making people feel unworthy of the work because we keep telling them the sin makes them unworthy of their relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? You're not really godly. You're not really this because of your sins. But no, it does not matter. Y'all got me preaching. I didn't mean to preach this morning. But it does not matter how often you sin. Can I say this? I'm gonna say it. I'm probably gonna get trouble for this, but I gotta say this. It does not matter how often you sin. What matters is how often, well, not even often. What matters is if whether or not you keep faith. Faith is the only way to please God. So the only way to not please God is to not have it. And what faith means, literally, the definition of faith in the book of Hebrews says that faith is knowing that God exists and that he rewards those who seek him. So if you know that he exists and you know that he's rewarding people for who seek him, it don't matter what sin you did yesterday, because that faith is what covers you, right? And I think that we don't understand the concept of faith really, because we keep on being scared of God. And a person of faith you won't be scared of God. Faith cancels out the fear. So I know if I make a mistake, if I cuss you out today, I ain't gonna cuss out my wife, you know what I'm saying? But if any one of y'all, anybody else, if I cuss you out today, I'm not gonna go to hell for it tonight. You know what I'm saying? I would hope that I would be able to have a better conversation with you if I did die tonight. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that your faith is the determination of your salvation. So Mike Todd said this one time, and I remember he got in a lot of trouble behind it. And I'm gonna repeat his sentiment because I agree with what he said. Sin does not send you to hell. People don't go to hell for sin. People go to hell for unbelief. Right? I'm gonna say it again. It's Mike Todd's words. I'm repeating it though. I agree with it. People don't go to hell for sin. People go to hell for unbelief. Now, once again, these are Paul's words, not mine. I will say it. There is no condemnation in Jesus Christ. Right? No condemnation in Jesus Christ. And people don't go to hell for sin. People go to hell for unbelief. And I'm a living testament of that. Because I sin. I still do. From time to time. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna count how often it happens. It's not important. Think about when Jesus was talking to the disciples and he told them about forgiveness, right? And they asked him, they said, how often should you forgive, right? And Jesus was like, you should give 70 times 7. You know what I'm saying? That's how many times you should forgive, right? Which is what, 490 times. I don't know who's counting, but that's a lot of forgiveness. It's funny that he didn't measure the sins. Right? So this is even if they cheat on you, even if they betray you, even if they steal from you, even if they steal your girl. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what it is. So once again, I told y'all before, God never tells us to do anything that he doesn't do. Whenever he gives us command, it's a command, it's because it's already part of his character. So he told us to forgive because forgiveness is a part of his character. And how often does he forgive? 7